Hey everyone, I know I haven't made a video in a while, but I have got something new here. This is the ColecoVision. Did not have this system growing up. This is one I kind of found out a little bit later on. I did have the Atari, and you know, sometimes people compare this to the Atari system, but it is different. It's quite a bit different actually. Graphic wise, it's a little bit better. From what I've tested on it so far, it does seem like a lot better than the Atari 2600. Some things about it, some interesting concepts at the time when it was released. The controllers are pretty unique, and I do like the way they're stored. They actually have this little compartment here to where you can actually set them, because you know, a lot of systems, especially the older systems with the wired controllers, they're really hard to store. But this is a pretty little nifty idea from Coleco. So you have these little compartments here, and they still plug in. They're not wired to the system like some of the controllers for some systems, like the Magnavox Odyssey 2. That's a pretty neat system, but at the same time, the controllers are hardwired to the system. So I do like that. So if you do have some controller issues, very easy to replace. And unlike some controllers, these aren't really that pricey, and they don't really break that often, which is really good news. I know with my Atari 5200 that I have, I had to do a lot of work to get those controllers up to par and actually playable. So yeah, so these are the controllers. They have a numerical keypad on here. You stick these overlays. They don't go on top, but they actually go, there's a little slide in right here, so you'll stick the overlays in here, and it'll kind of detail which buttons you press for certain actions on the game. One thing I'm not too big of a fan of, I like the controller overall, I like the trigger buttons, but I don't know if it's just my controller. If anybody comments that has a ColecoVision can tell me. This is very stiff. Now I have two controllers, and they are really stiff. So I mean, it doesn't seem like a lot, but when you're playing a game and continually pressing this or holding it down, it seems to really tire me out after a while, especially in the thumb. So yeah, you got your controllers there. This is where you would insert your cartridge. You got your on and off, which is a nice little switch there, and your reset button. Now, something unique with the ColecoVision, which, you know, later systems would do this as well. It kind of reminds me of I mean, maybe to a lesser extent, but it reminds me of what Sega did when it had the add-ons like the 32X and the Sega CD. So they have these modules that you can basically purchase to use with this. For certain games, they were actually required. And certain things like, now I know some of the modules actually just, I think, plug into the controller ports. I'll get more into that though. But like, you had a module for the Atari 2600 that you could add on here, so you could actually play Atari 2600 games. That was really cool. That was module 1. And then they actually had an add-on for a computer system, the Coleco add-on, that you could use there as well. So it's like its own like little add-on computer system, which is really cool. Both of those I do not have. I would like to get the Coleco add-on. The 2600, I can probably pass on that just because, well, I already have a 2600 and a couple different ways to play that. So yeah, that's kind of it for the system. You have, and I really like the overall look of the system too. I think it looks really cool. It's basic, but I like it. So you have your power plug-in goes here, and your AV or your RF cable would go there. So yeah. Now, one thing I would like to mention on these controllers, I did have issue. I haven't really played too much with this one, but they do both work. But I did have some issues with the trigger buttons. I mean, I was having to press them really hard. They did not want to work, if they worked at all. So basically, I just took it apart. It was really simple. There's a lot of video on YouTube that kind of detail that, but I took it apart, and I got some contact cleaner, electronic contact cleaner, and I cleaned them out with that. So that worked really, really well. My trigger buttons work great now. So, okay. So on to the games. Now I'm gonna go through these games and kind of play them a little bit of each one of them to what I can. And I say that because Coleco did, like I said, this kind of reminds me of the Genesis, because some of these are not even playable without the modules. Donkey Kong is one you can play with a module. That's a classic. That's one I try to get for all these old systems, because it's really nice to compare it to see graphically the difference and gameplay wise what the difference is between them. So this is the one I got for ColecoVision, but I purchased one for the Atari 400 computer system. I played it for the Atari 2600 and the Atari 5200. So I just wanted to see what it was like on this one as well. So I was happy to find that one. Cubert, never really played a lot of Cubert, but I see this come up for like every system, but like I said, I just haven't really played it that often. I've heard it's pretty difficult though. I got some sports titles. I got Coleco football. And I was kind of surprised to find this one. I didn't know that there was a Smurf game for the ColecoVision. So I'm kind of interested in that one. Mousetrap. I think this is kind of like a more complex version of Pac-Man. And okay, so this is one too. This is Turbo. This is a racing game. Now, there's no cover on it, but I knew because of the label back here. So, this is where another module comes into play. This is the, you need the steering wheel module. Now, I don't think that it plugs into the module port, but it's actually just like a controller, but they still call it a module. But you cannot actually play this with a standard controller. They could have probably done it, but at the same time they did not. And this one right here, this is the this is Slither. Now this is another one that requires a module. Now one thing about these is I think the modules actually came with these games. So when you bought the module, you got the game with it. So Slither, you have to use a rollerball controller. Now I don't think that was considered a module, possibly not. But yeah, it even says on here, for use only with the ColecoVision roller controller. So it's like a little roller ball. I bought these, I didn't know that. I actually plugged in the controller when I first got these, and I was like, my controller's broken because it doesn't work. Well, that wasn't the case, they just require a different controller. And I've got baseball, another sports title. And this one is Frogger. Again, no cover, but we're going to give that a shot. I like trying the different Froggers out. On the back, there's an empty space. I don't have any of the overlays for the controller, so I'm kind of just guessing on what controls that I actually need to push. But you can, for the most part, figure it out, normally speaking. But yeah, so we're going to give these games a shot, and just let me get everything hooked up, and I will be right back. Okay, so first up, we're going to try Frogger here on the ColecoVision. And like I said, we're briefly just going to run over these games. I'm not going to do like any detailed playthrough, but I, like most players, have played Frogger. I think most people have played a version of Frogger in their lifetime. And I don't think most people grew up on this one, though, I'm sure. So, now as you will notice... Ooh, got fast. So, as you'll notice, the I am using an RF signal. Oops. I'm using an RF signal, so you're going to get like some, I guess, interference. And I have several RF cables actually hooked into the same unit, so that's only adding to it. But I like playing it the old way. So yeah, immediately I can already tell these graphics are substantially better than the Atari 2600. So yeah, see if I can get these last ones in.
I kind of want that. Oh, ain't gonna get it. You know, if this controller was small and you had to press it this hard, it'd be terrible. I'm glad it's actually a decent size controller for your thumb to sit on. Oh, got the fly too. I always hate the turtles that go underwater. No! No! Okay, I'm good. Didn't get the fly. But yeah, we beat the level, so on to the next game. Yeah, this is a really good port of this one, I think so. Got the alligator up there. So let's see. Next up, we shall try. Let's see. Okay, so now we are going to play Q*bert. Okay, so select game 1 through 6. Well, I don't know what those games are, so we're just going to go with 1. So I'm going to press 1 on the Coleco controller. Now, I don't really have a direct comparison. I don't really know what the Atari 2600 looked like. I never... Oh my god, what am I doing? What? Okay. Obviously, I've never played Q*bert. So, but I'm guessing you... Okay. I don't really know how to control this little dude. Apparently I'm not good at Q*bert. You know what? I get it now. Well, I thought I got it. Let's see. Let me try that again. How do I start? Okay. I think I kind of get it. It's just left and right controls. You can't, like, diagonally go to the next block. So, down, up, right. Okay. It makes sense. Right, down, down, up, down, down, down. If I go right, it's going to go to the bottom, and you got to go up. Okay. But how do I guess you can go to angle. I don't know. It's still pretty tough. I'd have to really practice at this one. I can imagine this would be fun, though. It's kind of cool. Here, I'm just jumping off the edge. But, yeah, I'd have to do a little practice on this one. But, yeah. Okay. So, yeah, Q*bert for the ColecoVision. On to the next title. Okay, and this is one of the sports titles. So, yeah, this is football. Action football, something like that, I believe. So, we're going to give it a shot. So, one player offense, computer defense. Yeah, we'll do that. I don't have anybody to play with. That actually don't look too bad. That actually don't look too bad. So, how do you play? I don't. Okay. Apparently, I don't know where I'm going or what I'm doing. I don't really get it, so let's try. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm kind of always lost on these football games because, yeah, none of these controllers actually seem to work. None of these controls do. Okay, the trigger button's doing something. Well, no good. Oh, you have to... So I'm having to hold down the trigger button as I move. I don't get it, though. Okay. So, yeah, I'm moving there. I tell you what, though, if I learn how to play this, it doesn't actually seem that bad. And I really, you know, for a 8-bit system, this actually looks really good. But, so yeah, on to the next game. So yeah, now we're gonna. This is one of the ones that requires the turbo controller. I mean, not the turbo controller, but yeah, literally it is the turbo controller. So the steering wheel. So I'm not gonna be able to do anything. This is one I did try out, and you can't really even move. So I just kind of want to show it to you though. I don't even know how. Well, I got it to work one time, and now I can't even get it to go past this first screen here. Yeah, so like I said, this controller is not really going to work for this game. But I did get it to go past one time. But, oh, I remember what I did. Okay, so for some reason I had to use the second controller to even get it to start. Okay, so yeah, it's started up now, but you literally cannot do anything on here. Okay, so yeah. So we're on to the next game. Yeah, it looks pretty good though, man. Got some actual, what looks like quasi 3D graphics. I mean, I know they're not really 3D, but at the same time, they look pretty dang good. The buildings and everything for a 8-bit system. Good detail in the car. I can't wait to really try this with the module. I am going to get it eventually. I just don't know when. But yeah, so on to the next game. All right, so the next title, another one with the my controller is not going to work on. This is Slither. You do have to have the rollerball controller to make this game compatible. So again, I'm just going to kind of show it off here. Not going to be able to do anything, but yeah, the graphics look great for the time. Now I can get the gun to work, but I cannot control this, whatever this is. Hey, okay, so the bottom, ooh, can't get him. So yeah, right trigger shoots down, left trigger shoots up. Pretty cool, and I guess you would roll around with the ball, and yeah, I bet this would actually be quite fun. Be a great game. So yeah, it looks really good. I like it. I'd like to play it, but we'll get there. Okay, so on to the next title. So this is, when I seen this one, I was like, man, this is interesting. Smurf. How is this actually going to be? Is it going to be like some of the old Atari titles where you couldn't even tell what it was? You know, like, you know, it said it was one thing, but then when you actually played it, was it even related? But I have tested this one previously, and I will say, out of all of the games that I have tested, the graphics on this one is quite impressive. These controls, though, oh my gosh. So you would think, but I guess this is not something that. Oh, I get it. So now we're used to a dedicated jump button, but back in the day they would often use this up. You would have to actually push up to jump. And this game is like that, so you have to press up. So I guess the best way to do it, yep, is kind of just hold right and kind of push up as you go. Even the grass can kill you. So not actually doing. It's tough. It's real tough, guys. Okay, so apparently I was having some trouble with my audio. But yeah, so I like. So yeah, the graphics and the audio seem to be really good. So you can't. Oh, you can dunk. Nice. Okay. I can imagine like getting far on this game. Now I don't. God, jumping's real bad though. Okay, so yeah, I like the graphics and the sound. I literally hate the controls. No. Of course, I'm getting better, I guess. Okay, so yeah, on to the next game. But yeah, I think the graphics are fantastic for an 8-bit system of this era. So, next game. Okay, so this is Super Action Baseball. So let's see how this looks. I was impressed with the Super Action Football. So maybe this one impressed me too. So again, you can select how you want to play. So we got... Okay, so batting is done with the joystick. But I don't... Can you control it? I don't understand why it goes straight back to the... So I hit the ball. It's good. And then it goes straight back to me batting. I don't get it. I don't understand this at all. Am I missing something? I see the baseman. I don't see any strikes showing up. That one almost hit me in the head. That one's way far away. I'm just kind of swinging at everything. The game looks pretty decent, but kind of plays like crap. Unless I'm just doing something wrong. I mean, he's calling strike, but I literally see strike 0. It's like nothing matters. Okay, on to the next game. So this is Mousetrap. This one gets compared a lot to Pac-Man, I think, and I definitely can see the comparisons. Exioids. Huh, that's interesting. So we can do 2-player. Okay. We'll do 1-player. Like I said, I ain't got no friends. So yeah, I can see the comparisons to Pac-Man. You've got the dots. You are playing as a mouse versus a Pac-Man. And I have tested this one. So you grab the X's and you build up these little X's that are in the top left corner. And this is one of the games that actually utilizes a lot of portions of the keypad. Different ones, 1 through 4, actually controls these little bars that let you in and out or block the cat's paths from eating you. And the number 5 actually turns you into this little dog, or it looks like a bulldog to me, and you can eat the cats. Similar to in Pac-Man when you would grab the special block that would allow you to eat the ghost. Don't really necessarily... Actually not doing too bad. Okay. Like I said, the controller's a little bit of a pain with this, and it may just be my... There we go. Okay, so beat a level. So it may just be my control, I'm not sure, but the control pad is really stiff, like I was saying in my video earlier. So your hand will get tired as you play these games if your controls are anything like mine. Okay, so yeah, this is a great game. I can see where this would kind of get addictive playing and enjoyable. So yeah, I definitely, if you haven't played this one, give this one a try. Okay, so on to the next title. So of course, I saved the best for last. Donkey Kong is a classic. I've always heard the ColecoVision was one of the best ports of Donkey Kong at that point in time. Now, I really like the Atari 400 port, but of course you're talking about computer systems versus straight up consoles. So, let's see how well this one does. Now, one thing I will say about the Atari 400 port, it was really difficult. So, okay, so the trigger button, the left trigger button jumps. This one looks good though. Let's try the hammer. Don't really like how the barrel keeps rolling after you hit it. I got that barrel. Either way. Okay, let's try to get to the top. But yeah, this seems to be a really good port though. Donkey Kong actually looks like a gorilla. I didn't really want to get that again. I wasn't thinking. Donkey looks like a gorilla. Daisy, is it Daisy up there? No, not Daisy. Who is that? Who is the girl that's in the... Oh, and Mario actually has some good jumping distance. Like I know on the, I think it was the Atari 400, he really couldn't jump high at all. I think it was that version. So clearing a barrel was really difficult. Go. Nice. Yeah, this is a great version. I like it. Ooh. No! Okay. We'll deal with that. Not sure if I'm going to beat this. I think we might, though. Yeah. Okay. I was never good at this one. You gotta hit the jump button. I always forget that you actually have to. I always think like, hey, I can just walk right onto it, but no. Huh. It's gotta be much quicker than that. Okay, I'm gonna try this again. You know, I feel like, you know, this would be one of the best ports, if not for one thing, and I know I'm ragging on it a lot, but this, oops, actually saved her. This joystick is kind of, there's got to be a fix for this, some kind of mod or something that would allow you to release some of the tension on this joystick. Like I said, I don't know that it's mine. I know both of my controllers are like this, though. But the tension on here is just, it's bad. Real bad. Okay. I guess this is going to be one of those that just keep repeating itself. Ah, you can't even hit the top. I guess I touched Donkey. Seems like they're more lenient with the lives on here, though. I say that. Oh, man. Like I said, it's this controller. Like, I already had fatigue from trying to press right at that point, and I didn't get it quite pressed hard enough. Terrible. Is that it? That's it, guys. Okay, so yeah, this is a great port. All of these seem to be really good ports of the games. My final thoughts is this on the ColecoVision. In a lot of ways, I'm going to have to say that it's better than the Atari 2600, and it's better than a lot of the 8-bit systems that come out around the same time. I like all the aspects of the controller. I could get used to them. The only aspect and the Achilles heel of this system, if it is in fact an Achilles heel, because it could be possible that it's just my controllers, but I got a feeling that it's not, is the really tight tension in the but you know what? I'm about to do some testing on this. There is a, well, okay. I might make a video about that. Like, maybe there's a way to loosen the tension of this ColecoVision controller, because that's the only thing I see that I really don't like about it. But there may be a way to fix that. But yeah, final thoughts is that it seems to be a really great system. I want to try out some more games for it. If y'all could, if y'all would like, you can recommend some games to me. Maybe I can get forward to try on it as well. I really want to get the expansion module so I can really experience some of the games and what made the ColecoVision unique, which was the expansion module aspect of it. So yeah, I guess my to get list is going to be the expansion module racing wheel. I don't see myself getting the Coleco Atom anytime soon. I would like to, but I believe it's kind of pricey, so I'm not really ready to spend that kind of cash on something that I'm not that familiar with yet. And I want to get the rollerball. So yeah, great system. Seems like it's got some great hardware for it, great software as well. I said the only thing I don't like is the joystick. But anyways, y'all have a great rest of your day. Don't forget to like and subscribe and click the notification bell, and we'll keep bringing you more content. Thanks.